element of product, to another aspect of a product, we are going to look at what is called a long tail concept and branding in the digital environment. Umsila omude. So that's what we are going to be looking at. We are still unpacking product as an element of the market mix. So at the end of this lesson, you need to understand the long tail concept, and you also need to understand branding in the digital environment. So these are the concepts that we are going to be coming across as the lesson progresses. You are going to come across the concept of long tail, branding, brand equity, and experience. When you look at that screen, which terms there do you feel like they are very new and strange to you? And which ones do you feel like they are more popular?
I think I've never really heard of long tail concept, but the others are familiar.
Okay,
Yeah, I think same
Mrs.
as, yeah, I also
Okay,
share the same sentiments.
all right. Okay, so I'm sure and I fully understand that at the end of this lesson, you'll be able to know what the long tail concept is and how it can be applied to products, because we are talking about products here. So, which products in your community are frequent in usage and popularity? Or at home, at your place, what is it that you use more frequently? Or what is it that is more popular that you come across in terms of a product?
I'd say maybe food, like bread,
Food
for
such as
instance. Like bread would be
bread. Okay,
like
bread.
everyday thing. Yeah.
Okay, oh no, no.
It has to be toilet paper.
Yeah, ne? Okay, toilet paper. That one surely, and surely you'd use it every day, just like food. They go hand in hand. All right. Then explain the Zipf's law in digital marketing. Do you guys know the Zipf's law?
I think I've seen it somewhere, but no, I don't know the explanation.
Okay, Miss Pindi.
No, no, I don't know it.
Okay, you're going to know it from now onwards. So the reason why I've asked you guys about the products that are more popular is because there are also products that are not popular. So the Zipf's law, which is also the long tail concept, it talks about pairing the unpopular products with the popular products to make them popular. Here's an example. If you have been to high school or in the communities that you live, there's always a squad of, let's say, beautiful girls, hot chicks, beautiful girls. But in that squad of beautiful girls, there's only one that is very ugly, who do not literally belong to that group. But now you actually see her as beautiful because of the people that she hangs out with. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes, yes, it makes
So
sense.
if that person is alone on her own, you wouldn't see the beauty in them when you take out all the beautiful or pretty faces that they hang up with. And it's not, maybe this example is extreme. Even let's say you are someone who is of average, who do not play soccer well, and all of a sudden you are playing with Lionel Messi or you are playing with Cristiano Ronaldo, all of a sudden your graph increases because of your association with world-class players. That's what I'm trying to say. Or you have got a child who does not perform well in class. The child struggles in class. But the moment you pair that child with kids who are intelligent, and that child starts hanging out with people who are intelligent, all of a sudden the child is improving in his or her marks. Do I make any sense now?
Yes.
Okay. So this is what we call the long tail concept. So there are products that you have that are not performing well, but their popularity increases the moment you pair them with the brands that are more popular. So we go back to toilet paper and bread. So you realize that at the shop, you are my friend, you know, those cooler tuck shops. You have got many products that you are selling there, but people are only buying bread. They are not buying uh, tea leaves or they are not buying coffee. So wherever you are putting that bread, you make sure that milk is close to it, coffee is close to it, so that when people have a look at bread, they can also have a look at coffee. All of a sudden, people are buying coffee because it has been paired with bread. Have you seen that at stores, guys?
Yeah.
Socks, a pair of socks being close to shoes, for example. These you'd think these are just common things, but you know, there's so much psychology and you know how you play with customers' minds to make sure that a product is being sold and it is being exposed to the market. Because if you don't do that, then it will remain like that. It won't be visible to customers. So let me take you now through the theory of the long-term concept. The long-term concept is about a frequency distribution suggesting the relative variation in popularity of items selected by customers. So, for example, if bread is popular, now you can have a distribution frequency to coffee. So if 50 people are buying bread, chances are that half of those people are going to buy coffee because most people use bread for breakfast and coffee can also be used for breakfast. So it doesn't mean necessarily that people are going to suddenly love coffee, but chances are that if you pair coffee with bread, people are going to love that coffee. The same way you would look at someone who's average playing with Messi, Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo. People still love Cristiano Ronaldo and their performance. By the fact that you are playing with them, you are going to get a notable followers as a result of you playing along with Messi. We have seen people complaining in society, or not necessarily complaining, but finding it very interesting that someone who is always ugly, like someone who is ugly, is the one who is always in stable relationship. Why? How come? Is that person better positioned in terms of the long tail concept? It's something that can be debated. So the long tail concept is useful for considering the role of the 4Ps online. And according to the Zipf's law, if the variation in popularity of different words in a language is considered, there is a systematic pattern in the frequency of usage or popularity. Therefore, the Zipf's law suggests that if a collection of items is considered or ranked by popularity, the second item will have around half the popularity of the first one, and the third item will have about a third of the popularity of the first one, and so on. So if Lionel Messi has got 50 million viewers, and at the moment you are not performing well, you have got 0 viewers, the moment you are playing with Lionel Messi in the same team, chances are that you are going to generate half the viewers of the people who are following Lionel Messi. Does it make sense, guys?
Yes, it makes
Yes.
sense.
Okay, yeah, because I know, the moment you are telling students about some law and something, it just becomes heavy for them to understand. I'm sure if you guys, when you saw the word long tail and zip law, you're like, yo, we are going to learn physics today, right? Or unless if you are such geniuses. But for me, when I came across these words, I was like, wow, I don't think I'm going to understand this. So why is the zip law or the long tail concept relevant in marketing? Applying the zip law can allow each brand to determine a numerical value to the brand's performance in the marketplace and track the return on investment of their branding investments. So you can now be able to know how a product is performing in terms of numbers. So this is how the ZIF law or the long tail market works. So to see on the diagram, the relative popularity of items is predicted to decline according to the ZIF law from a maximum count of 1,000 for the most popular item to 20 for the fifth item. So in an online context, application of this law, the fifth law, is called the long tail, and it can be applied to relative popularity of a group of digital platforms or products or an individual site, since they tend to show similar pattern of popularity. Any questions about the long tail concept, guys? Okay, I suppose everything is all good. Now we talk about branding. Obunolo, you said that you've come across the word branding, but it becomes a bit trick to understand what branding is all about. Sometimes people always get confused with the difference between branding and marketing and advertising. So I know people would say that they don't care about others. I've heard people saying that I don't care about others. I'm living my life. But do you know, guys, that we have got what I would call personal brands that we represent? Do you think you have got a personal brand?
Yes.
Mhm. So the fact that you've got a personal brand, it means that you cannot live without people. Umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu, right? Ubuntu. Otherwise, with your personal brand, there's something that you communicate about yourself. Even if you are silent, there's still something that you are saying about yourself that is going to distinguish you from Pindiwe or Pindiwe from you. That's what branding is all about. So branding is the process by which companies distinguish their product offerings from the competition by the sum of the characteristics of products as perceived by the customer. Therefore, branding is important online and offline as it helps customers differentiate between products from different manufacturers and producers. So, branding is all about uniqueness. We have heard people saying that you can never replace me. even though most of them will be saying this out of heartbreak. In other words, branding is how companies set themselves apart from their competitors. Perhaps most importantly, branding affects perceptions. So branding can actually create a perception about you, what others would think about you. Since it is well known that in blind product testing, customers fail to distinguish between brands. So a key concept at the heart of creating a brand is positioning, and creates a unique position in the marketplace involves a careful choice of target market and establishing a clear differentiation in the minds of the people. So as you have said, Obunolo, that you have got a personal brand, you'd realize that it doesn't end there. There's a way that you want to position yourself, be it in society, be it in the industry, based on the brand that you carry, right? So the same thing with businesses. You cannot talk about branding if you do not know anything about positioning, because positioning is one thing that sets you apart from competitors. You wouldn't want customers fail to identify you as a brand. If they cannot identify you, chances are that they are not also not going to identify the products that you sell. Offline brands can get into the minds of the customers to position their brands using a range of brand elements, contributing to the asset called brand equity. Therefore, brand equity refers to the assets or the liabilities linked to a brand's name and symbol that add or separate from a service. So that's what branding is all about. Then what about branding in a digital context? Digital technology has also brought distinctive features to the online brand experience. A digital brand is very similar to its offline counterparts insofar as it incorporates a name, a logo, or any other sets of symbols and product or service components. However, the major difference is the context in which the customer experiences the brand. And the digital context tends to be information rich. It's always changing, dynamic. It is characterized by excessive information flow, and it can also be tailored with innovation. So therefore, brand experience is how the frequency and depth of interactions with a brand can be enhanced through the internet. Think about the engagements that we have with different brands online. Some would take 5 years to respond to you. Some would take seconds to respond to you. Some can escalate an issue there and there, whereas some would say after 5 days, this issue have been escalated. So this highlights branding in the digital context, and it also gives a distinctive feature between different companies, because different brands have got different ways of doing things. Are there any questions about branding in the digital context?
No.
All right. So that's it. And this lesson could have helped you guys to develop a greater awareness of digital marketing by understanding the long tail concept and branding in the digital environment. You must now be able to apply the elements of the marketing mix, especially P, product as an element, in an online context, and evaluate the opportunities that the internet, digital media, and technology make available for varying the marketing mix. Are there any questions about lesson 67?
Not from my side.
Okay, Let's quickly look at the brand identity and success factors. Then after that, I think we can take a break. The reason why I'm not taking breaks, guys, is because I've got a 4-hour load shedding. So if I take a break, my laptop is going to completely drain. So I don't know, what do you want us to do?
I think we can just continue. Don't know
Okay.
about Obunolo.
Obunolo, what do you think?
We can continue. It's fine.
Okay, I know that sometimes it can be exhausting and I end up making you guys sleep. All of a sudden I hear people snoring, you know.